look at all these invertebrates. A freshwater stingray, because these things are absolutely insane looking. Boom, got him. Look at this thing. That right there is a Mexican turbo snail. There are minnows all around him right now. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, we got it! Oh, that was so insane. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today, we are gonna be getting a massive cleanup crew for the saltwater pond. As you guys know, saltwater pond is 3,000 gallons. So that means we need a massive cleanup crew. And what I mean by cleanup crew is because right here, as you can see, we got a bunch of algae eating on the sides of the pond. And that is normal, but usually it happens in aquariums and you have a small cleanup crew to clean it up. And here we have a massive pond with some big old fish, a lot of area to cover, so we need a massive cleanup crew. And pretty much the snails are gonna eat the algae, and the hermit crabs are gonna clean up what the bigger fish do not clean up, meaning all the little sardines we throw in here and feed the fish. Sometimes the fish like spit some pieces out and then it ends up getting stuck in the rocks and then causing your nitrates to spike up. So what the cleanup crew is gonna do is eat all that excess food that the bigger fish do not eat and that gets trapped up in the rocks. And then we should be pretty set to go. So we're gonna head to the pet store, see what they got, see if they got a massive cleanup crew, and if they do, we're gonna be getting a whole bunch of invertebrates today. See you guys at the pet store. So right here, we got a whole bunch of blue-legged hermit crabs and some cleaner snails. These guys are gonna clean up the pond tremendously. All that little algae on the bottom and on the side, these guys are gonna be put to work and clean all of that up. All right through here are all little hermit crabs, and we're about to toss some food in there to see which ones are actually in their shell, and you'll kind of just see their little legs out and stuff going after the food. But there's all the food going in right now. Look at how many hermit crab shells there are. These guys will probably breed in the pond and have a lot more hermit crabs. If you look really closely, everything's kind of starting to come to life. You see little shells moving and stuff, little legs crawling around. Oh, there's another one right there. Look at them moving around. It's just eating. They're all actually starting to come to life. Bagging up the hermit crabs right now. Got them all going into this bag. We're gonna do about 2 dozen hermit crabs and then 2 dozen snails, since this is a large pond. We just gotta find the ones. That's why we put the food in there, so we can see which ones are out moving around, and then he's grabbing them and putting them into the bag. Probably got about, how many you say? Probably about a dozen and a half.
Looks like we got just about 2 dozen in there.
Oh, awesome. Alrighty. So that is all the hermit crabs we are going to be getting. There's a good amount in there though. And we're also going to take some empty shells, just so if the hermit crabs grow out of that one, then we'll be able to have some empty shells to grow into. Also, once we get home, I'll be able to actually put the hermit crab like on my hand, and you'll be able to see their little blue legs, and some have red legs, but the little blue-legged hermit crabs are actually pretty cool. So once we get home, I'll take them out and you guys can see them in detail. Right now, we're going to get everything bagged up. Got the hermit crabs being bagged, and now we're gonna go off to the snails and get some of those. So we got the Atlantic and we got the Mexican snails. And I'm pretty sure the Mexican turbo snails are like the ones that really clean, huh?
They do a lot faster job. They're able to flip themselves back over if they fall over, which these don't, so.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do a dozen Mexican turbo snails, and then we're gonna do a dozen Atlantic snails. And these guys pretty much just hang out on the side, and then these guys will kind of go all around the pond and pretty much live to their name. A Mexican turbo snail. They're gonna speed around the pond and clean. Snails and hermit crabs are all bagged up, but while we're here at Mark's Ark, they got a whole bunch of new fish in. I kind of want to show you this tank right here. This is literally, if I had to do a freshwater tank, this is how it would be. We got freshwater stingrays, and guys, let Paul know right now. Everyone, comment Paul in the comments right now, because he needs one of these for his freshwater pond, and I'm gonna tell him about it because they're actually legal to have in the state of Florida without a license. So I think that would be pretty cool for his freshwater pond. And then we got some clown knifefish. We got a bunch of cichlids, a bunch of cool plecos, but I just can't get over the size of these freshwater stingrays. These are Atlantic stingrays, so like I said, you're actually allowed to have them in Florida without a license. Then we got some peacock bass right up there. This tank is insane looking. Oh, I can't get over this python. Literally so cool looking, and I want to do a tank so bad where it's half water, half land, and then have like a tree going across with like a little tree python just like this hanging up there. I think that would be so sick. And I mentioned it before, but if you guys really want to see it, I need 5,000 likes on this video, and I'm gonna do it. We are leaving Mark's Ark right now. We got a whole bunch of hermit crabs and snails, and I even picked up some feeder guppies because we are gonna be feeding the Mata turtle. It's been a while since I've updated you guys on him, so we got some guppies, and we're gonna put him in his tank and see if we can get him eating on camera. See you guys back at the house. We are back home. We got our snails, we got our hermit crabs all in these bags right here. What we're gonna do is get them all into a bucket, every single one of them, And then we're gonna get a drip line going from the pond to the bucket. That will slowly acclimate them, and then once they're done acclimating, we'll put them in to their new home, and they're gonna do some cleaning on this pond, that's for sure. So first, we got the Atlantic snails. We're gonna get these guys in the bucket. I got the bucket right below me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna get them all into the bucket, and then I'm gonna show you guys them. So you can kind of see the difference between the two and the hermit crabs and snails. So right here is an Atlantic snail, and they're pretty much just a small snail. Right there, you can kind of see them. And they do a great job cleaning. So these are the first snails in the bucket. We got a dozen of those guys. Now we got the big old turbo snails. And these guys right here are going to be the most effective cleaning snails that we pretty much are gonna have in the pond. These guys are absolutely huge. They do an awesome job cleaning, and they move all around the pond, so they get a large area. As you guys know, the pond is 3,000 gallons. It's very, very big. So we pretty much needed something that can cover the whole pond, and these guys, the Mexican turbo snails, are gonna do that. So this right here are the Mexican turbo snails. Look at the size of these guys compared to these guys. I mean, there's a huge size difference, and there's actually 2 snails on one right here. But yeah, this guy is fully coming out of his shell right now, so we're gonna get him back in the bucket. We also got a dozen of those. So now we have a total of 2 dozen snails in total, but we still got more. Right here, we got the blue-legged hermit crabs. They'll get a little bigger than this, but if you look really closely, he's actually coming out onto my hand right now. Oh my gosh, he's on my finger. He's on my finger. Focus, focus. Oh, camera almost fell. I'm gonna get this guy back into the bucket, see if I can get a little bigger one. Maybe the camera can focus on this guy. These are the blue-legged hermit crabs. Next up, we got a whole bunch of more blue-legged hermit crabs. Once I get them all in the bucket, I'm gonna show you guys them all in this bucket. This is the most invertebrates I've ever seen in a bucket. Blue-legged hermit crabs going in. Look at all these invertebrates. We got Atlantic snails, Mexican turbo snails, blue-legged hermit crabs, a couple red-legged hermit crabs. I mean, look at how many hermit crabs and snails there are. You can't really see because they're all piled up, but there's a lot in here. We do gotta get them acclimated though, so we're gonna get the drip line out and then get started on the acclimation process. Got the drip line going into the bucket here. We're gonna give these guys about 30 minutes to acclimate. Once they're done, they are going into the pond. We're gonna get the GoPro out and get shots of them underwater and seeing them clean in detail. But in the meantime, while these guys are acclimating, we're gonna go inside and feed the Mata turtle. So for some of you that do not know, I did move our Mata turtle back into the aquarium from the turtle pond, and I actually put the snapping turtle into the turtle pond since he was smaller. But I did pick up a whole bunch of live minnows that the Mata turtle absolutely loves. He's actually right back here, just hanging out in the current. So majestic looking, it's insane. That's his head we're looking at right now. Let's see if I can get a little side angle of him with the light on him. There's a good shot of him. Look at this guy. We've had him for about 3 months now. Ever since, he's been doing awesome. He's definitely put on some size since we've got him. And right now he's about to get some lunch. And I've actually never seen him eat in my life. I do always put like 30 minnows in here, and then by like 2 days, they're all gone. So he's obviously eating them, but I think he's eating them at night when all the lights are off. And I think he just stalks them down and then ambushes them. But there hasn't been minnows in here for like 2 days, so maybe he's really, really hungry and will eat right on camera for us. I'm hoping. That would be absolutely insane. Let's get these minnows in his tank. Alrighty, going in. We're just gonna dump all of the minnows in. Oh yeah, that's a lot of minnows. That's a lot of minnows in there. They're pretty much just all hanging out by this rock back here, and the Mata is right up here. He's just waiting. He wants one so bad, I bet. Oh, I think he just ate one actually. He's like moving his lips around and stuff. Let's see. We just gotta wait for a minnow to swim right over his head. And I'm sure he's gonna munch it. He's moving around right now. He's just waiting. Come on, come on. Can't even tell that's a turtle. Looks like a log, literally. And look at all these minnows. I'm gonna set the camera up right here. There's minnows right in front of him. There's literally minnows all in front of him. Look how long his neck is. Insane. He's literally just waiting for a minnow to swim right over him. If we get this on camera, this is gonna be insane, guys. There are minnows all around him right now. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, we got it! Oh, that was so insane. I stood the camera up, guys, and kind of just like pushed the fish myself over to him, and we got it. On camera, first time ever, the Mata turtle eating. I am pretty stoked that I just witnessed that, and so did you guys. First time ever, I actually saw him eat and got it on camera, so that was honestly pretty cool. If you guys want to see more videos with the Mata turtle, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, Mata turtle has a bunch of minnows to feed on tonight. He's gonna be a full Mata turtle, but we're gonna let him be, let him go hunting, and yeah. That was pretty sick that we got that on camera. Let's go back to our hermit crabs. Hermit crabs are still going. We're gonna take the tube out now and get them in their new saltwater pool pond. This is gonna be awesome. Just to see the snails and wildlife moving around other than fish. I think it's gonna be a pretty cool addition to the saltwater pond. Now guys, I am by myself, so bear with me on the filming. I'm gonna try as best as I can to get detailed shots of them going into the pond, but what I think I'm gonna do is just scoop a good amount, toss them into the pond, make sure they're all upright, because some of the times they can get stuck on their back and not be able to flip over. So we're just gonna make sure of that once they're all in. First thing going in, oh my gosh, that snail was gripped on there pretty tight. But we got a Mexican turbo snail right here, about to go in the pond. The hermit crabs and stuff can flip themselves back over. The Atlantic snails do have some trouble, so those guys, we're gonna make sure we put them right here, so if they do end up flipping on their back, I can turn them over. The hermit crabs, I'm just gonna toss by the rocks, and then I'm gonna let them kind of just do their thing. Got a whole bunch of blue-legged hermit crabs going in the pond. Oh, fish thought that was food. Emperor snapper thought it was food. They might bite it just because fish don't have hands, but then they'll spit it out and realize it's not food, and obviously it's not hurting the creature because they are in a shell. It's not going to damage them or anything. They are all good. I think that's exactly what the emperor snapper just did. I threw one of the snails in, he ate it, and then spit it back out, realizing it was a snail and not food. Right here we got a whole handful of turbo snails going in the pond. I've already put about 2 dozen in, and we still have a whole bunch of little invertebrates left to go in the saltwater pond. Once they all get comfortable and get used to their surroundings, it's gonna be cool to see them just crawling around and on the sides of the pond and stuff. Because if you look right there, look at all that algae. That needs to be clean. These guys are gonna get the job done. I already know it. I really believe in them. Look at, and this is what I mean by so hard to get off. I am putting a lot of pressure. Boom, got him. Look at this thing. That right there is a Mexican turbo snail going in. Look, emperor snapper thought it was food. See how that guy just turned on his back? Those guys can actually flip themselves over because they're a little bigger, but we're still gonna give them a little help and flip them all over once they are in the pond. Big old handful, big old handful. I got Atlantic snails, Mexican turbo snails, and even some hermit crabs going in. Like I said, I'm gonna put most of them, the snails and stuff, right here, and then if I see any turned over, I'll flip them over so I can help them out a little. Another handful going in. I'm gonna do most of the snails first. But look at this, a whole handful of invertebrates going in. Woo! Alrighty, last amount, last amount. These are all just hermit crabs, so I'm gonna get all of them at one time. I'm gonna try my best. Sorry, I didn't get all of them, but I got most of them. We're gonna toss these guys on that side of the pond. Oh! Emperor snapper. Wow. But yep, hermit crabs are in there. They'll be able to turn themselves over and stuff with the rocks. Here we go. Another big old handful. And now remember guys, not all of these shells are filled with hermit crabs. A lot of them are empty too. We just put some empty ones in here just in case they do outgrow that shell that they're in. They have an empty shell to move into. There they go. Couple more. And then we are set. Got the remaining hermit crabs in my hand right here. Here they go. I'm gonna dump these guys in the middle here. Let them kind of just find their own structure to hide out on and let them move around the pond. Snails, hermit crabs, all the invertebrates we just picked up are in the pond. Hopefully they do an awesome job cleaning. Now, if you guys don't know, this is pretty much like a cleaning crew. The cleaner wrasse and the cleaner shrimp we have are more for the fish. These invertebrates right here are more to keep the pond clean, and obviously it benefits the fish because they now have a clean pond and clean water. So overall, I think this was an awesome decision to add this little cleanup crew. One, we'll get to see them all the time. It will be just more life around the pond, and two, it's gonna keep the pond nice and clean. We're gonna get the GoPro out and see if we can get some cool shots of them underwater. That wraps up today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 400K. We just hit 340,000. We need to hit 400K in 1 month, and I believe we can do it. But with that being said, invertebrates are in their new home. Saltwater pond is doing amazing. Cleaner wrasse are doing amazing. I haven't seen any of the cleaner shrimp. I probably won't see them until I get in the pond. And we're gonna be getting in the pond pretty soon because I want to do another swim with. So once I'm in the pond, I'll be able to tell you guys and let you guys know a lot better. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see y'all in the next one. See ya!